Well, coming off the Mississippi game, second half we should have been quite a bit better. We went and studied that this morning as a team and saw some areas where we need to certainly improve. So, getting ready to head to Vanderbilt. Need to have a good couple days of preparation. You know, they shoot a ton of threes. Like 46% of their shots in league are almost 46% of their shots in league are threes. They also draw a lot of fouls. They draw the third most fouls in the league. So they're similar to Alabama in the sense that they shoot a lot of threes and they're able to get to the foul line and draw a lot of fouls. They also don't foul very much on defense. So that they've got some good qualities. You got to be able to win the free throw line against them. You got to be able to contest their threes, and contest their threes while also guarding them without fouling them. The freshman Dessou is really playing well, number one, and then Saban Lee, somebody who's their leading scorer. We've played against him for a couple of years. He does a great job getting downhill and getting in the paint. Pippen's playing well and is a good shooter for him. Maxwell Evans and the big kid 50 down low affects a lot of shots. They got Jordan Wright, who's from Baton Rouge, comes off the bench for him, is really taking on an increased role and playing better. So, they're playing hard. They played really well at Kentucky earlier in or middle of last week in the midweek game. They led Kentucky for a majority of the game till about the last 8 minutes, and so they're playing well, and we need to have a good couple days of preparation and go in there with a good game plan and be sharp and play a complete 40 minutes.
Questions or comments? Michael?
Just what have you seen from Jerry since taking over the program? What are your thoughts on him as a coach?
Well, I think Coach Stackhouse has done a very, very good job. I mean, first thing that jumps out is they play really, 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 really hard. They're very, very scrappy. They play hard. I think their effort level has been extremely, extremely consistent all year long. Now they're obviously down Naismith right now, who's they're down a first-round draft pick, so that makes things a little bit more challenging. But I would say just looking at them, and I thought Coach Drew did a great job the year before. I thought those guys were consistent and played hard. But I think they play with an edge to them. They're aggressive. You can see his NBA background. They ice or push some side ball screens, and they ice to trap, which is something that a lot of the NBA teams do. He's got hundreds of sets. It seems like they're very, very good out of timeouts. He'll change his defenses out of timeouts. He's always got some good sets to get whoever's hot in isolation or whoever's hot open and get it to them in a sweet spot. So I think they've done a great job. They were 8-4 in the non-conference, or 8-5, I guess, when you count in the game with they played one of those American teams. SMU, right, Billy? No.
Yes.
Yeah, they played SMU. You're supposed to know that. Damn. I think they did well in the non-conference when they had Naismith, and then obviously it's been some tough sledding in league. But like I said, the best, their effort level has been great, and they're going to win. I hope it's not against us on Wednesday, but they're gonna win some games. I don't think they'll just win one. I think they'll win more than one because their effort level is consistent. What they do is good, and there's going to be nights where they make a bunch of threes. At one point they were almost 50% against Kentucky from three. And when they make those threes, when you shoot it as frequently as they do, and get the free points at the free throw line, they're very, 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 very good. I tell you another area they're good at is we're gonna have to be a lot better with our free throw checkouts. They seem to get one or two offensive rebounds off missed free throws a game. That to me is just effort and want to, and shows their attention to detail and how well that he has them prepared every game.
Hey, Coach, a week ago you were pretty adamant about there were some things your team was doing that you were tired of. You had 2 wins since then. Did they improve on the things that you were?
Yeah, we were better. Oh shoot, we were better, but we still got a lot of areas we need to get better at. We've got to have a lot more consistent focus with what we're doing, a lot more consistency with our attention to detail, especially as it relates to defense and some of our scouting assignments and some of the little things that goes there. I think we need to have great energy and effort. I thought we got to be able to sustain that better. I thought we did that to start the game against Mississippi, but we weren't able to sustain that. And so, those are areas that are going to come back to bite us moving ahead here. And so, we've made improvement. Have we made as much improvement as I would like to make? No, not if we're going to be a special team. Not if we want to be a dominant team. We're not where we need to be. We've got to, we need to take another step in February and then another step in March. One of our players said it best. I think it's true. He said we're trending in the right direction, but we're not peaking. Well, we got to start trending a little bit, a little bit more of a spike. We got to start trending a little bit more of an incline as opposed to just plateauing.
Considering where your team is and how tough they've had it the last couple of years, how much do you have to tell the players to guard against, especially on the road?
We won't talk about any of that. We'll talk about ourselves, and we do the same preparation every game. I think I went over it the other day in here. It's a 3-day season. Every game's a 3-day season, and so we'll prepare the same way. We watched the same film this morning. We did the same individual workouts this morning. We'll do the same film this afternoon, same practice, same routine, same everything. And so we just stick to our routine and focus on ourselves, and we'll go take it from there. But we have our own routine. We have our own way of doing things, and you just focus in on that and narrow in on that, and then we'll go play the game.
That leads perfectly into the question I wanted to ask you.
You and Sheldon consult each other before?
Tag teamed on that one. When did routine become such an emphasis for you personally as a coach?
Oh, I don't know. That's just, I'm a linear thinker, so it's just, they always laugh, the staff, about it. They're like an airline pilot. You check all the stuff off before the game because I guess y'all have seen that play card I have in my back pocket. Everything's handwritten out, and they all make fun of it. I could type it out, or it could be typed, but I like to write it. I draw the same plays out every week, so I know every game, so I know exactly, just, I don't know, that's just the way I'm wired. And I think routine, it helps your players. It's the same just about every day. We change it. It's not like we do everything the same every day, but the basic structure is the same. And I think with familiarity, people get comfortable, and when they're comfortable, it puts them in a better position to perform well and to perform at their best. At the end of the day, it's all about getting the best out of your guys, and I think routine helps with that, because if we didn't have a routine, a lot of our if we let our guys, I say this to them, I got this from the Patriots, it's true, when you come here, you become us, we don't become you. So like if we became you, we'd kind of be sloppy and kind of do things when we wanted to do it, and no, you're going to do how we want it done. And I'm not saying our method's the best, but it's worked pretty well over a long period of time. And so, we're going to kind of do it, and you put it in the structure, and guys can hopefully have success.
Are there a couple players who have maybe adopted more routine into their habits?
I tell you one thing. I know y'all are all excited about Marlon. Marlon's playing well because he's finally gotten into the right routine. My routine. And it's a sometimes it's a battle every day with him. But he's learning how to focus better. He's learning how to have a routine, and and it's natural. He's playing well, so now he wants the routine to change. No. You got to double and triple down on what you're doing, and so that's been frustrating. I love Marlon, and our relationship's grown quite a bit, but sometimes it's frustrating with him because he won't buy in. I hate the word buy in, but he doesn't strictly adhere to what the routine is all the time, and he's done that so much better. It still could be even better than it is, but he's done that so much better, and it's given him a chance to have success. And I tell our guys all the time, just because you do everything like we want it done, it doesn't, that's the tough part. You got to get people to do all that, and it doesn't guarantee you success. There's no guarantee of success, but I can pretty sure guarantee that you won't have success if you don't do it that way, or you won't have consistent success. You may be able to have success every 3 or 4 games or 5 or 6 games, but you can't have success 4 out of 5 games or 5 out of 6 games. So I think routines helped him a lot. I think routines helped Trendon Watford a lot. I think he's gotten in a routine, and I think it's really helped him. And you know, just since we've been here, I think it's helped Skyler a lot. I think you could go down the list of guys. I think it's helped them, and hopefully, I mean, you know, it's basketball that we're talking about now, but you have routine in life, and you've got to have discipline. I mean, we call it routine. That's just a nice word for self-discipline, and you know, you've got to have that self-discipline, and it's important. It's important for our guys, and hopefully that's something that they can carry on, you know, once they leave here. That's a skill that they've learned and a skill that we've given them.
Josh LeBlanc has been here for a couple of weeks now.
He's learning about routine.
Yeah.
Different routine for him, for sure.
I know you guys were familiar with him from recruiting, but just
Yeah.
what is he going to bring when he
Oh,
is
he's
finally
good.
eligible?
Oh, man.
And what's next in his development?
Oh, he's going to be so good. He's better than I thought. He's really good. He's long. He's athletic. He's maybe our best defender. He's helped us. You know, he's helped our team since he's gotten here because he's on our scout team, and so our guys have to go harder. You know, Emmett just can't lay it in, or you know, it's been huge having him. We got to put some weight on him. He's got to even his body out a little bit, and then we got to give him some offensive skill. You know, he does a great job finishing and catching and that sort of thing. We're in the process of changing his shot, working on his shot. We're in the process of working on his ball handling with him. He's got speaking of routine, he's got a 40-minute workout he does every day, in addition to practice and film and some of the other things that he's doing. And so, you know, he's got, the best way I can put it is he's got a lot of natural gifts, just God-given ability, and then we've got to put some polish on it. And we've got to polish him up a little bit. But he's going to be a phenomenal player for us. He'll maybe be the best defensive player we've had since we've been here in terms of deflections, block shots. He just kind of shows up. You're like, dang, you're just out there on the ball screen, and here you are blocking blocking the shot. He just kind of shows up. But I mean, if you look at his numbers in the Big East, I mean, he was phenomenal. And so we're very excited about having him, and he's gonna have a huge impact for us next season. He's impacting this team. You know, he's impacting this team. How that scout team plays, our scout team, you know, Caleb's redshirting for us, Starks, and he's gotten a lot better. I was talking to him after individual workouts this morning, talking to him about how much better he's gotten. And Parker Edwards is getting stronger and in better shape. I think he's a guy in the future that could have a role for us like Marshall does on our team. And, you know, Cortez is getting better. I feel comfortable putting Cortez in a game now. But those guys in LeBlanc pretty much make up our scout team. And LeBlanc gives those guys more confidence. Just having him on the scout team, it's raised the level of our scout team play and practice. It's one thing we had last year. We had a great scout team. We missed Will Reese, who had to, you know, he had a bunch of academic stuff, so we couldn't make it work because he was doing internships and that sort of thing. But like those guys raised our level of practice. Like everything you do matters, and everything you do is important. And like having a good scout team, having those guys, and adding Josh to that group in the middle of the season has helped raise our level. It's part of the reason we've been able to string together some wins, because we get more resistance in practice, and our guys understand that, you know, if you don't bring your best, if you don't cut hard, if you don't finish strong at the rim, if you don't do exactly what you're supposed to do, your shot's got to get blocked now. You know, you can't get away with some of the same mistakes you could get away with earlier in the year. So when we were preparing for Alabama, Josh was Herb Jones. He did an unbelievable job being Herb Jones, and he did exactly what Jones did.
So practice will be open today?
No.
I know this doesn't have much to do with the game, but do you have a memorial gymnasium story from your childhood?
Well, we had season tickets growing up. We sat in 2L, row 10. So, I mean, I've been there a bunch. You know, that's what I call it, Memorial Magic. So I was there in 93. I think that was the last time Vanderbilt won the SEC. They went to the Sweet 16 that year. They honored that team, I believe, at the last home game against Florida. And then Vanderbilt was ranked in the 20s, I believe, at that point. And like in a 3-game stretch, Vanderbilt beat LSU when LSU was ranked with Coach Brown, Arkansas when they were in their heyday with Nolan Richardson, and Kentucky. I think Kentucky was number 1 in the country. Arkansas was like top 10, and it was a 3-day stretch. In fact, I was at all 3 of the games, and so I've been there a bunch of times. It's a unique venue, very very cool place, and so it'll be fun to go back. Hopefully we can win.
Going back to, you said you guys, when you started peaking, you said trending upward. You may have already said his name, but is there one player you think is starting to peak in his performance on the court?
No, I think we've all got more. That's what we're going to talk about today. I think we can all do a little bit more. I met with the staff this morning. I told them we got to be even better. You know, we got to be even better. There's some things we can clean up, and we can get better at, and there's stuff our players can clean up and they can get better at. You know, and so as you move further and further along here, the margin for error is thinner and thinner, smaller and smaller, and so you've got to be pressing your advantage, and you've got to make sure you're handling your business and doing everything in your power to give your team and give yourself the best chance to perform well.
We didn't elaborate either, but kind of follows that trend. Football came up with this theme of the LSU standard of performance, and it's something that they worked within their room and kind of to hold each other accountable. Are you seeing your team kind of self-police or coach themselves now at a better level now that they kind of see their potential?
I mean, we have our own standards in what we do, and so we have to meet certain number of standards whether we win or lose. That board, probably some of y'all have seen us carrying that board around with all those stickers on it and all this stuff, but maybe not. Kent's seen it. We lugged that thing on the plane and all over the place with us. Yeah, I mean, I think our guys understand everything's important when you get to. I tell them, all the time, if we want to be a championship level program, you got to. We're lifting here at 2:00 for, you got to lift like a champion. You got to eat like a champion. You got to, everything. You got to sleep. Everything you do matters, and every advantage you can get is important. And I think our guys have gotten better. Are they where we want them to be? Absolutely not. There's always room to be even better than you are. But I think we're much improved from where we were. I think we're trending in a good direction. But yeah, we certainly have. Like against Alabama, we only got 2 of the 5 standards. We have to get 3 of the 5. 3 of the 5 guarantees that you win. We only got 2 of the 5, so we run even though we won. Because, when we play the best teams on our schedule, 2 of the 5 isn't going to get it done. And Alabama's a very, very good team, and 2 of the 5 probably won't get it done when we go to Alabama. And so no matter who you're playing, like to go back to your question, Sheldon, yeah, we can focus on Vanderbilt and this and that. But we got to focus on ourselves. If we handle, and the 5 things are all in our control. If we handle those 5 things, we're going to win. If we handle 3 of the 5, we're going to win. We've gotten 5 of the 5 once, since I know somebody's going to ask that. But if we handle 3 of the 5, we're going to win. So let's focus in on doing what we need to do, handling our stuff, playing to our standards, and we'll win.
Does the board have a name?
Yeah, goals board, team board. I don't. Kent, how would you describe it? I don't know. Goals board, right?
Rather large board.
Yeah, it's like that, flipped.
I say you come out of the locker room on the road.
Right.
It's big.
So, there you go. Golly, Cobble.
I don't know if you saw it in the TV replay, but some chirping in the huddle. Everything good there?
Oh, yeah. Oh, you talking about Eminent Sky? Yeah. Come to practice one day. Golly. That's like going to see a Disney movie compared to practice. That was like going to see a Disney movie. So, I was just 2 competitive guys, and they were joking about it actually after the game in the locker room.
How far out is Manning from coming back?
We'll see. That's a great question. We're actually not going to travel him to Vanderbilt because we want to stay back, and he's been running. He's been working on a treadmill. He's been running. He's been moving a little bit and shooting, and so we don't necessarily have the underwater treadmill, everything that we need at Vanderbilt to do the rehab, and we don't want him to miss basically a day and a half of rehab, which would be tomorrow afternoon when we leave, because he's been getting it 3 or 4 times. So we're going to keep a trainer back here with him. Sean's obviously going with us, but one of his assistants is going to stay back with him, and we're going to work with him the next 2 days. And so we're hopeful that, you know, it's sooner rather than later. I don't want to put a timetable on it. I think the earliest could be the Missouri game next Tuesday. I believe that's about a little over a week from today. I think that would be the earliest, and then any time after that. But yeah, we're going to keep him back and not travel him so we can try to continue to progress with the rehab. So Charles has done a phenomenal job with the rehab and showing up 3-4 times a day, and Sean and our medical team have also done a great job of helping him move forward.
Can we see him Thursday, Friday?
Yeah, you hadn't looked at the schedule? We got the free meal at LaBerge on Thursday. I thought all y'all would be there for that. I mean, you got the LaBerge buffet. What is it, the Bon Tim's buffet or something?
Yeah.
I mean, y'all all love that, right? Huh? Huh? Yeah, it's good. I mean, it's a pretty good meal. You don't think that's a good meal?
Come eat with me every day.
Huh?
Come out and eat with me, I'll show you a good.
That's a pretty good meal compared to what the media usually gets. Better than Subway or pizza. Subway's great. They're a sponsor, by the way. Eat fresh. Subway. Call in on the Subway hotline tonight at the radio show.